Alright, so this is the beer I'm going to make. I've made this one before and it's really quite nice. I haven't tried the actually mashing everything together and boiling everything yet. Maybe I'll do that another day, but I just quite like these kits because they're dead easy, dead straightforward. You just throw it all in one of these big buckets that I'm just about to do all the sterilising part, and in a couple of weeks' time we'll have 40 pints of really quite nice beer. Now, part of the process, you have to excuse the fact that I'm doing it in the spare bathroom, is we're going to sterilise this and put this in with the brew itself as well. So we're going to see if we can get a good indication of how the fermentation process is going. So, step one, absolutely scrub the bejesus out of everything and get it all nice and clean with the stuff that you do not really want to get on your hands, because it's not very good for you. It's like pH 1 or something, but we'll be alright. That's probably broken my little sensor. So we don't need some of this just yet. We will need that. Primary sugars for the end. Hops are clearly for dry hopping. You get another little bag which you keep for later, and you get a good bag of malt, barley, so we'll put that in there to get nice and hot. I think there might be 2 of those. Yeah. So let's get those in there. Okay, so we're getting a bit of water coming out of here, so that's good. So that's sterilising the inside of the tap. We'll get that all moved around. So everything that's going to touch the beer is going to be absolutely clean. And we want to make sure that there's nothing that can contaminate it at all. So let's get our sensor, get that nice and in there as well. As it wants to be as sterile as it's possible to be. Now I think, as far as I've been told, it's not a good idea to use the scratchy side of the pad when you're using plastics with these, because you can leave tiny little scratches in the plastic which make it quite difficult to get bacteria and old yeast and beer and stuff out of. Oh, that's got loose in there, that's annoying. Might be a problem. No, we'll see. So especially with the inside of the plastic buckets, and these buckets are only cheap anyway, so it's sometimes worth, I do wonder about just replacing this after a while, because it's, although I've never had a batch get infected yet, it's always, you know, touch wood, it's been good so far. The other part that's going to touch the beer is me. So, in the same way, because I'm going to have my hands in there, I need to be as clean as everything else. So this isn't, as I said, this isn't very good for your skin. But, you know, all in the sake of good beer. Okay. Well, the problem I've had in the past is in the bottom here, there's the inside of the tap, just there, and it sucks through some of the hops from the dry hopping stage. So what I'm thinking is to use one of these bags and tie it onto there. Do that. Can I go over there? Yeah, that'll work. There we go. Every last drop of that lovely stuff. Right, let's get some. Now it's worth noting that if you do want to do this, you need to make sure that depending on your hot water system, you may have a tank of cold water feeding your hot water system, which may not be the most sanitary. You shouldn't drink the hot water out of the tap. Because I know mine is a sealed system, we don't have a cold water tank. I'm not overly worried about it, and I've never had a problem with it getting infected or anything like that before. So we're now up to just over 5 gallons, I think. So we'll give that a little stir. Make sure it's nicely stirred in. And then we'll put in our brew sensor. I've had a suggestion. I need to think of a name for this, because I don't know. I've had a suggestion of a monkey's trumpet. I don't know, we'll see. Leave a comment, suggest some names to me. In we go. Now, I have a heat mat set up on this chair that I'm going to leave it on. I'm going to wrap it in a towel with the sensor at the side. And then we're going to use one of these heat temperature controllers to control how this cuts in and out from this sensor. If our new magical sensor actually works really well, and it agrees with this temperature, it might be worth redesigning this so that it actually controls the temperature of the heat mat cutting in and out from the actual brew temperature, which is going to be much more accurate, I think. Maybe that's the next step. We'll see. But it's important to note, this is running off 230. So this is a mains device, and it should not be in a bathroom. Don't do as I'm doing, because this is a bathroom that we don't use, but we're still using water and liquids and fluids and all that kind of stuff. So it's really important that you don't use mains powered devices in a bathroom like what I'm doing. Now, I'm not going to stir that in. I'm just going to let that do its thing. So we have some beer being brewed nicely. We have a temperature sensor, the most janky setup you've ever seen in your life. But if it does all overflow, it's not going to get beer on it. And the power supply is off the floor. So, worst case scenario, it'll probably just spark out everywhere, burn the house down. But, you know, a bit of electricity and fire never hurt anybody. So, what we're going to do is take our first measurement to see where the specific gravity is to start with. So this is the way you normally have to do it. I'll take a little bit out. And get your little pipette, a couple of drops. And try and take a measurement from there. So that is 1.039, I think. So we'll see if that ties up with what the flow sensor is giving us. And we will wrap this nicely in a towel so that it doesn't get too bright, because daylight doesn't do it any good either. And then we'll keep an eye on it and see how it's going on over the next couple of weeks. And I'll keep you updated.